Good morning, One Heart, One Mind Center for Spiritual Living. And I do have some great music this morning, I think, that's not going to be glitchy because, because that's the way it's going to be. I'm speaking my loud and powerful word. Oops, didn't quite want to start it just yet. Let me get it shared first. And I'm just sharing the sound this morning. I'm not going to share there's no video. So we're just gonna hear sound. So let me get to advanced so I can see what I'm doing. Here we go. All right, and then this Margaret Owens and one of my favorite songs. So
will this day I be a blessing?
can you hear those?
This year be better than the last? Will I calm the voice that hounds me? Discard the demons of the past? Will I step out in my faith now? Live the truth I've come to know? Throw my dreams into the river and let these four words help them flow, singing, yes, God, I believe. Yes, God, I believe. Yes, God, I believe. Sing it with me now. Yes, God, I believe. Yes, God, I believe. Yes, God, I believe. Maybe it's a body that needs healing, a relationship that's worn, or a child that is in trouble. There's a friendship that's been torn. And here's a job that needs new vision, a bank account that needs belief. I don't gotta tell you all my problems, I just gotta rest in your relief, singing, yes, God, I believe. Yes, God, I believe. Yes, God, I believe. Sing it with me now. Yes, God, I believe. Yes, God, I believe. Yes, God, I believe. I believe in your goodness. I believe in your grace. I believe that your power is flowing through me in this space. For you've given me guidance, and you gave me desire, and you would not have set this flame in my heart if I could not start a fire. So yes, I believe, Lord, I believe. Yes, I believe, God, I believe. Yes, 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 God, I believe.
I love that song. My favorite line in that song is when she says, you wouldn't have placed this flame in my heart if I couldn't start a fire." I love that line. What a great line. Anyway, we're all about what we believe we see in the world. So Ralane, I'm going to invite you to pray us in, and I bet you have some. Oh, I think you told me you had a spiritual practice.
Yes, yeah.
Perfect.
So this morning I'm going to combine prayer and a little meditation all in one. And you guys are all going to participate. So that'll be the best part. We're going to experience and feel the power of divine love. So let's just close our eyes. And I'm going to start with a prayer from Louise Hay. Just take a deep breath and relax. And Louise says, "Deep at the center of my being, there's an infinite supply of love. It is inexhaustible. I can never use it all in this lifetime, so I do not have to be sparing with it. I can always be generous with my love. Love is contagious. When I share love, it comes back to me multiplied. The more love I give, the more love I have. I have come into this world to be a love giver. I came in full of love. And even though I will share my love all my life, when I leave this earth, I will still have a full and happy heart. If I want more love, then I only have to give. Love is, and I am. I am a radiant being of love. I rejoice in the love I have to share." And so now I'd like you to keep your eyes shut. And I'd like you to share some of that love that's deep within you that Louise is talking about. And I'd like you to share your love with everyone on the Zoom call individually. Just kind of go from person to person and share your love, that infinite well of love within you. Even if they're not in the Zoom call and someone comes to mind, share your love with them. Just take your time. And remember now, as you're sharing your love with each person on the Zoom connection, you're receiving love at the same time. Remember, giving and receiving is one motion, one effort. So take time in this moment to give love to everyone here and receive that love from everyone here. Don't work at it. Just make it easy, like a flow. Giving and receiving love, divine love. Now I'd like you to open it up now to giving love to all people in the United States. We have so much love to give. Let's give some more love to all the people in the United States. All the people in the world. Let's make it big. Just giving all their love to all people in the entire world. How about all sentient beings, all creatures that take a breath, all of nature, giving love to Mother Earth planet. As you give love, pay attention to all the love you are receiving. Please include those people that have passed away or animals. Give love to them. Isn't it wonderful to give and receive love? Let's give love to the angels, the archangels, guardian angels, and receive their love in return. This is the power of divine love. And it begins with the divine love within ourselves. I'm so grateful to share this moment with you. Wouldn't it be wonderful if we did this every day, gave love to the whole world, everyone, everything, even 5 minutes a day? Wouldn't it be great if everyone gave love back? I'm so grateful for having each and every one of you in my life, to have this experience of feeling and experiencing and giving and receiving divine love. And so thank you, Spirit. Thank you, God. And I just release this prayer meditation with love, divine love. And so it is.
Oh, that was lovely. Thank you for that. What a wonderful practical thing to do every day. I love that suggestion. Ah, well, I am going to play a little bit more music here. Oh, wait, first we have the affirmation, don't we?
Yes.
There we go. Our last week of October's affirmation.
I am still and receptive to life. I let life flow through me in all I think, say, and do. I let life be what it is without worry or complaint. Daily, I enter into the stillness of my soul where God speaks to me. And so it is. And we send and give divine love to Ernest Holmes.
Yes. And he inspired this affirmation.
Yes.
Thank you for that. All right, now I have a little bit more music, and I really enjoyed this one too. This is a little bit empowering. More empowering than it's more upbeat than the last one, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And this is Karen Drucker, and she's going to talk to us about power. Sing to us.
Got the power, you got the power, we got the power. I got the power, you got the power, we got the power. I got the power, you got the power, we got the power. I got the power, you got the power, we got the power.
I've got the power to make all my dreams come true. I've got the power, there's nothing I can't do. I've got the power to be anything I want.
I've got the power inside of me. I've got the power inside of me.
Every day I'm wasting my time thinking that someone else is gonna do it all for me. I've got to get up, get out, get it, just get started. Take one step towards my destiny. I'll define my direction with clear-cut intention. Declare what will be, and then watch it come to me. 'Cause I've got the power to make all my dreams come true. I've got the power, there's nothing I can't do. I've got the power to be anything I want. I've got the power inside of me. I've got the power inside of me. There are days when I feel that I'm just no good. Days when I don't even want to try. But when I stop, look and listen and surrender, I hear a voice of truth I cannot deny. And it says, you know you can do it. Just get down to it. Have faith in yourself and the will to see it through. 'Cause I've got the power to make all my dreams come true. I've got the power, there ain't nothing I can't do. I've got the power to be anything I want. I've got the power inside of me. Yeah, I've got the power inside of me. In those times when I feel so frightened and it seems like I just can't go on, I've got to look deep inside, 'cause that's where I find the power, the power, the power inside of me. Yeah, I've got the power deep inside of me. Yeah, I've got the power. I've got it. I've got the power inside. Deep inside of me. I've got it. I've got the power inside. Oh, there's nothing I can't do. 'Cause I got the power, yeah. I've got the power, you got the power, we got the power, yeah. I got the power, you got the power, we got the power. I got the power, you got the power, we got the power, yeah. I got the power, you got the power, we got the power. Every single day you just got to say, I got the power, you got the power, we got the power. Power! Talking about power, yeah. I got the power, you got the power, we got the power. Every single day you just got to say, I got the power, you got the power, we got the power. Power!
Woo! Well, she just queued us up for today's message. That couldn't have been better. I love that. I got the power, you got the power, we got the power. And there it is. Oh, Karen. She's a life line with her music and her words. So good morning again, and welcome to One Heart, One Mind Center for Spiritual Living. And whether you're joining us in real time or replay, welcome. And I just always have to say that it is my intention that what you hear, what you feel, something that you experience in this service, and from the beautiful words of Ralane and the message and the music, something reminds you that you are this divine, magnificent being, and that supports you in bringing that reality of your being into the experience of your daily life. So that is my intention this morning. So as I said, this morning, Karen queued us up really well. This morning, we're finishing up October's theme on power. And I just think that it is just such an incredibly important and very relevant topic to our daily lives. How do we bring the magnificence of our divine beingness into our human experience, our daily human experience? And as I've said before, Ernest Holmes, our founder, and now I know this by heart, defined power as the energy by which everything lives. And I love that he used the word energy. And as I often do, I looked up the origin of the word energy, because energy feels like power to me. And it turns out that it was first used by Aristotle, and he used it to describe actuality, reality, existence itself. In other words, the original essence. And then later on, in about the 1500s, it was used to describe activity, action, operation. And from a metaphysical perspective, we really use both of these meanings. We use power to describe that original substance, the divine reality that animates everything, and the activity, the power of law, to express that divine reality into form and experience, into all of creation, into everything that we see in our physical world. I've mentioned before that I really enjoy it when the worlds of science and spirituality fold together, when they support and validate each other. And I believe they do here. I believe in the word power. This is a place where they really seem to come together. We could call the idea of power sacred science, or we could call it scientific spirituality. It's the blending of the two different perspectives of reality. And I think it helps us understand the nature of the universe. It brings a sense of mysticism to science and a sense of logic and order to spirituality. It reminds me, at least, I'm sure it does you too, that life truly is one, that everything is interwoven. The same power is running through everything. What did Holmes say? The energy by which everything lives. And today, my focus is on how we can participate with this power to consciously create. But honestly, I was thinking about this after I did the title, the power to create. But honestly, the truth is we don't really create anything. What we do is we co-create with that presence and that power of law that already exists. We mold or direct the foundational energy of the universe. We personalize it because we're one with it, and it's part of our nature as well. And so we're always using it. You might remember that. I thought about this story when I was saying that we don't really create anything. You remember that funny story about how a group of scientists got together and they decided that mankind had come a long way and really they didn't need God anymore. So they picked one of their scientist buddies to go and to tell God that they were going to have to let him go. So the scientist walks up to God and he says, "Hey, God, we've decided that we really no longer need you. We're at the point where we can do all kinds of miraculous things. We can clone people. We can do all kinds of things. And we just really don't feel that we need you anymore." So God listens very politely and kindly. And after the scientist was done talking, he said, "Oh, okay, very well. How about this? Let's have a creation contest." And so the scientist says, "Okay, great." And God then says, "Okay, let's do it like I did it back in the old days with Adam." And the scientist says, "Sure, no problem." And he bends down and he picks up a handful of dirt. And God looked at him and he says, "Oh, no, 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 no. You're going to have to make your own dirt." So it's kind of a silly joke, but it makes the point that there isn't God in something else. Everything is made out of the same thing. Everything is made out of God stuff, including us, and we share that same creative nature as our creator, and we use the same energy, the same stuff. We co-create with the presence and with the power or the action of law of God, And I'm always looking for new ways to talk about the very basic principles that we teach in Science of Mind. And I think that focusing on energy and vibration and frequency is really a wonderful way to understand the very basic principles that we teach and live our lives by, to understand who we are in relationship to our Creator, the divine presence, however you want to language that, God, Spirit, the all that is, the thing itself, the field of infinite potential, however you language that presence. And also to understand our relationship that we have to ourselves, to our own personal awareness, and to the outer world in general. The experience that we have when we're walking through our day, being human. and to understand how we're using this power of the presence and of the law to co-create our lives on a daily basis. Because we're always using it, whether we're doing it consciously or unconsciously. We don't turn off the fact that we are creative beings. We're always doing it. And we can learn to participate with it consciously so that we can live whole and healthy and abundant, fulfilling, and really joyous lives. And we know that energy, vibration, and frequency are the very essence of everything. They are, as we've said before, the language of the universe. And understanding them helps us consciously participate with them. What is energy? What is vibration? And what's frequency? We're talking about participating with the high vibrational frequencies of peace and love and freedom and abundance and all the things that feel good and support the ongoing unfolding of life itself. We're talking about bringing the divine presence into form, and how our relationship with energy, vibration, and frequency supports that action. So I'm just going to start at the beginning. For me, to keep my relationship with the divine presence fresh, I have to connect with it every day. I have to be with it and sit in its vibrational frequency every day. And for me, this begins with my morning meditation. I need to take time daily to remember who I am. Remember, I've said before that the word meditate means to become familiar with. And that's what I do when I sit down and I enter into that space with the all that is, that I know personally. And since I'm always growing and expanding and changing, we all are, I need to refresh my experience, my relationship with this presence, with source daily, and sometimes if I'm really working on something, I have to do it more than just once a day. I have to sit down and connect with it several times a day. And I do that often as I'm walking through my day. I want that high vibrational frequency of God to be, I think of it as the foundation that I stand on. When I encounter things in my outer world, if I'm standing on that frequency of peace, love, and joy, and the expectancy of good, then it allows me to encounter everything in my world from that sense of calm and peace. It really allows me to respond from a place of centeredness in that vibrational frequency of God, rather than to just react. You know what that feels like? Oh my gosh. And that generally comes from my ego or my personality self. Not generally, it always does. Which is that part of me is really easily injured, and it loves to play victim. So I really don't want to react from there. I always think of that line from the Lord's Prayer, that lead me not into temptation, because I can be so easily tempted to think of the physical world around me as my source, rather than the consciousness of God that is within me. To think that I have to change the world to be at peace, rather than to change something in me, to change the world, change the way that I see the world. It's rather like trying to clean your reflection in the mirror rather than change what is being reflected into the mirror. I thought of this as I was putting my talk together. I remember when my little daughter Greta, she'd probably die if she knew I was sharing this. I didn't tell her. Maybe she'll watch the talk, I don't know. But anyway, when she was about 3 years old, she was just at that age when she was starting to learn to brush her teeth every day. And one day I walked in the bathroom and I found her sitting on the bathroom counter. And instead of brushing her own teeth, she was brushing the reflection of her teeth in the mirror. So not very effective. Cleaning the mirror is not gonna change anything. So first, we establish ourselves in the divine nature of God, which is our divine nature. And we practice feeling the resonance of the qualities of God that we would like to feel and experience in our lives. that they already exist within it. It's not like we have to create them out of nothing. That, you know, just drawing up that frequency of whatever it is that we'd like to experience will be reflected back to us. That's just how the nature of the law works. So I'm going to invite you, if you feel comfortable, a lot of spiritual practice today, and I loved Ralane's opening spiritual treatment. But if you feel comfortable, I just invite you to close your eyes for a minute or just soften your gaze and breathe into the area around your heart. Just draw that breath, just follow your breath down into the heart area. And now I invite you to draw up a feeling, a resonance, a vibration, because we know that thoughts and feelings have an energy, and all energy vibrates. And so all vibration has a frequency, and peace and the qualities of the divine have a very high frequency. So I'm inviting you to feel that high frequency within you resonate at the vibration, the frequency of peace. And if it helps to recall an experience you've had when you felt really peaceful, then do that. Be peace. Breathe it in. You know, maybe it's a time when you were loving and caring for someone else. It doesn't matter. When you just felt a deep sense of peace. Can you feel that in your being? As you feel it in your heart area, just let it fill you up and resonate in your whole body. This is how we practice. This is how we become familiar with the qualities, the high vibrations of God that we want to feel and experience every day. So you can come back into the room. You know, this is what we do at the beginning of our affirmative prayer. We drop into the feeling of the divine. We resonate at the level of whatever it is that we want to hold in mind for our prayer. And we do practices like this until it becomes habitual. And then we stand on that foundation as we walk through our daily lives. And as we live more and more in the vibration of love and peace, abundance, harmony, I could go on within ourselves, we actually begin to perceive those qualities in everything around us, and they begin to be mirrored back to us. We begin to see and to hear and to feel everything that's around us as our good. And once we give ourselves permission to see, feel, and experience the good of God, no matter what we see in the outside world, it has no choice but to be reflected back to us. Because again, that's how we individualize the law, and that's how we step into the power of the law, and that's how God's law becomes our law. You know, I was saying at I think it was our Tuesday, it was either the board meeting or the Tuesday night class, I don't remember, that what I've done is I begin in my morning spiritual practice setting an intention to see and to have mirrored back to me some quality of the divine, such as peace, harmony, beauty. Today it was beauty. And I saw the most incredibly beautiful sunrise that I've ever seen. So beauty is being reflected back to me. You know, and as I've said over the last couple of weeks, the origin of the word power means to be able to. That's where that was the origin of the word. And while the divine presence is the essence of power, creative law is the activity of that power. And so as you know, as we are one with everything, we're one with both of these. We individualize the power of the presence and the action of law, at our level of our habitual thinking and feeling, which I've said before, becomes our state of being. And we resonate at that frequency. It becomes our vibrational frequency. And the law takes a hold of that and brings that experience into our world. It manifests, and then we stand. When we do that on a regular basis, we stand in that constant flow of divine good moving through us. That's how we participate with it. We direct the flow through the lens of our personal perception, whatever it is that we believe about life, believe about God, believe about ourselves, we will see through the lens. We focus that attention. Oh, did you ever play with a magnifying glass when you were a kid? Did you ever catch the rays of the sun in the magnifying glass? I remember doing this thing where my brothers especially, we'd take the magnifying glass and we'd kind of laser beam focus it on a piece of wood, and we'd burn our initials into the piece of the wood. We've probably all done that in some regard, right? Well, that's really what we're doing with the divine presence when we're focusing our attention, our intention with our attention on some aspect of the divine. The power of the sun is all around us. The power of God is all around us. We bask in it. We draw strength from it. We might enjoy its warmth. And then we allow ourselves to be completely immersed in it so that we can direct it, just like that beam of light through the magnifying glass. We can focus it in specific ways and in specific areas of our lives, and in this way, as I've been saying all month, God's power becomes our power. This is where we personalize it. I also shared this the other day, and I'm going to share it again with you today. One of the things I've been playing a lot with lately, I've actually been using it as a tool to navigate my daily life and really to uncover any hidden ideas or old beliefs that aren't serving me anymore, really to kind of hone, or I could say fine tune, how I view the world. I've been practicing with the idea of judgment, to notice when I find myself judging things, judging myself, judging others, judging things that I encounter in the world. And let me tell you, judgment can be very subtle. You might not even realize you're doing it. Now that I've been focusing on it, I realize how often I'm actually judging the things around me. And it's true, especially things that bring up negative thoughts and feelings, things that can cause a negative kind of visceral reaction in you, a vibration, and I've been using judgment as a cue, as kind of a trigger or an indication that I need to pause and I need to ask myself, what belief is behind the negative feeling or judgment that I'm having? And then I can ask myself, you remember that Byron Katie exercise, is this really true? Do I want to live from this? Is this belief grounded in the truth of the divine presence? Is it infinitely true? Is this a changeless truth? I have to ask myself what belief this judgment, this visceral reaction has triggered in me, and what I need to look at to shift it, to heal it, to transform it. Because if I'm judging something in someone else or some organization or an event or whatever it is that I'm judging, it means that it has triggered a recognition in me of the thing that I'm judging. And, there's an old saying, if you spot it, you got it. So what is that thing I got? Just recognizing the judgment kind of softens my reaction to it. It softens the way I encountered the thing, the person, or the event. And it brings up in me a deeper sense of compassion. For me, compassion is all about recognizing a thing and holding an expanded or a better, moving into a better, greater yet to be, let's say. It asks me to look at something and in myself that I don't accept, something that needs my conscious awareness, and to heal it, to bring it into the consciousness of love, which, as we all know, love is transformative. And the judgment simply kind of reveals a hidden seed of good that's in whatever it is I'm judging, because whatever feels negative has a seed of the positive within it, and I'm just looking for that. It's when you go to buy a precious gem. Have you ever gone to buy a diamond or something like that, and the salesperson will put it on this dark velvet backdrop so that you can really see the brilliance of it clearly? Well, that's kind of what my judgment does. It sets it on this dark backdrop so I can see what's really shining within there and what I can expand on. So that's what I've been doing. And judgment isn't just about negative things. I also judge pleasant things, things that draw up a sense of inspiration or awe or joy, things that remind me that I live in a world that is alive with the presence of divine good. And when this happens, as David Ross Sengel would say, the only appropriate response is thank you. Thank you. The only appropriate response to my judgment of things that are good is a sense and a feeling of gratitude. And I mentioned a little while ago that lately when I've been walking in the morning, the sky's been absolutely gorgeous. The sunrises this morning was fantastic. I even took a picture of it and shared it with my family's text thread, because it was like orange and pink, and the sky was every color of blue. It was just amazing. And it triggered in me a recognition of grandeur and the magnificence of God, of beauty. And that is already present within me, because the things that I judge already are in me. It triggers a recognition that they are within me. Whether they feel good or they don't feel good, they're already within me, and they're inviting me to give it attention. They become a window of all of the things that I am, all of the things that I've collected in my subjective consciousness, and that are just waiting for me to see, to recognize. And all these things are a part of me, and all the things you judge are a part of you. And they can be polished up like the brilliance of a precious gem laid against a darker backdrop. And here's why I think our judgments are so powerful, and that this practice of recognizing them can be such a powerful practice, because it begs the question: does this thing, this person, this event or situation have the power to separate me from God, from the love of God, from the peace of God, from the wisdom and the beauty of God? Do floods, terrorism, war, a crazy election cycle have the power to separate me from God and from my good? And of course, the answer is no. None of these can do that. Nothing can separate us from our source. Not even our own beliefs in separation, not right or wrong or limitation. Nothing, no ideas that we hold can actually separate us from God. God is God. Good is still good, even if we aren't focusing on it. And offering all of itself all the time into a stream of consciousness of love, of good, of harmony. God is infinitely giving, and all we have to do is stand in the flow, in its infinite flow. And we do that by vibrating at the frequency of its good. And we notice anything that is getting in the way of the flow. And that's what judgment offers us, is an opportunity, a practice to do that. So let's go back to that idea that everything's energy, and that the energy vibrates at different vibrational frequencies. And because that's true, we know that all of our thoughts and all of our feelings vibrate at different frequencies, that they vibrate as well, that everything's energy, and so our thoughts and our feelings vibrate just like everything else. And generally, we think of our thoughts and our thoughts originating in our mind and our feelings originating in our hearts. That's kind of the general thing that we think of. Symbolically, the heart has always been seen as the seat of our deepest feelings and desires. And I want to mention a little more science here, as I read across it, and I thought, oh, this would be wonderful to share. And it's about the research that the Heart Math Institute has discovered. And I've spoken about the Heart Math Institute before. They're an amazing organization that has done all kinds of really scientific research on that organ of our heart and the function of our heart. So they say that the feelings that we feel over and over again become coded in our heart, that they can be seen scientifically through what is called our heart rate variability. I'm sure you've heard of that. And our heart rate variability is the description of that of the interbeat intervals. You know, you've all seen the up and down. Well, that is the heart rate variability, and it describes those intervals that are between every heartbeat. I'm not a medical person, so I'm doing my very best here. But anyway, and that heart rate variability changes according to how we feel. When we feel good, when we feel the vibration, those high vibrations of love and peace and compassion, you know, the energy of those renewing emotions, our heart rhythms become very rhythmic. You know, they speed up and they slow down and they become this really strong, steady beat. And apparently, what the heart is doing is balancing, I'm going to get a little sciencey again, the two arms of our autonomic nervous system, the sympathetic and the parasympathetic nervous system. And this balanced heart rhythm from our heart becomes transferred to our brain. I think I've said before that Heart Math has discovered that the heart actually speaks to the brain more than the brain speaks to the heart. So when we come into a balanced rhythm, that is transferred to the brain, and that is called brain-heart coherence. And this, when the brain and the heart are vibrating at the same frequency, it feels great. It feels like we're in the flow of life. And the long and the short of it is that the higher the frequency feelings create that state of coherence, it turns out that that is incredibly good for our health, for our entire body, and for our emotional health, and for our spiritual health. So raising our vibration up from our feelings and creating that beautiful heart variability rate speaks to our brain speaks to our body, and our life just feels a whole lot better. You know, it just feels good. And as we feel good, we know we're contributing to the whole of life. And we're contributing to the overall collective consciousness of humanity. So when we feel good, we're raised up. So that wasn't really the clearest explanation I could have given, but I think you get the idea that feeling good is good for us. And as I was finishing up my talk, my message today, for some reason, the 23rd Psalm popped into my head. I don't often quote the Old Testament, but I read it and I went, wow, this is exactly what we're talking about today, isn't it? So I pulled it up. I pulled up the whole thing, and I just wanted to share it with you. This is going to require glasses. So here's the 23rd Psalm. Oh, but let me just preface this by saying that most of the Old Testament, even most of the New Testament, is written as a personification. God is personified, the essence, the spirit, the power, the present, the gifts of God are personified as Lord or God or Jesus. But we know that when we use that one name, we are encompassing the wholeness and the allness of God. So when this prayer says, the Lord is my shepherd, we know that we're talking about the allness of spirit. So here's what it says. It says, The Lord is my shepherd. I shall not walk. I'm going to start over. The Lord is my shepherd. I shall not want. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside the still waters. What a peaceful experience. He restoreth my soul. He leadeth me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I shall fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of mine enemies. Thou anointest my head with oil, my cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. You know, truth is, we're all shepherds. And what I loved about this is that what it says exactly what my message was today. When we ground ourselves first in that presence, laying down beside the green pastures and the still waters, when we come to life with a sense of peace, we can walk through the valley of the shadow of death and nothing touches us because we know who we are and we know we are grounded in the magnificence of the divine. We're all shepherds. There's only one life, and we can live its beauty and its love and its constancy. All we have to do is focus on it. We are empowered. God's power is our power, and that's how we create our fabulous life. So I'm going to move into a prayer now. I'm going to put you on gallery view so I can see all your beautiful faces. So we move into an acceptance, a knowing, an understanding, a felt and a lived feeling, a vibrational presence of the divinity that is everywhere present. That is the creator, that is the action of law, that is everything, and it is us. All that God is, we are too. So I speak my word for and about each and every person on this call today, each and every person that watches it later, each and every person that has ever had anything to do with our divine center and ever will. I speak my word for all of humanity, and I particularly speak my word for our beautiful nation, that we know who we are, that we are grounded in the oneness of God, and that we feel, resonate, create a powerful vibrational match that goes out, that catches fire with law and goes out and becomes the experience of our individual lives and our collective lives. Remember last week when I talked about that wonderful principle in science of constructive interference, our knowing, our resonance joins with all other beings at that high vibe of God. That is our prayer. That is our truth. That is at what we are setting into motion now. So for this and so much more, I'm so grateful. I'm just grateful. I allow it to be, set it into motion, and we say together, and so it is. And so it is. Oh, okay. So it is time for our conscious giving. Does anybody know who's doing it? You are, Rob. Woohoo! Go for it, Rob.
Unless someone else suggests otherwise, I'm doing it. Anyway, I am realizing that I tend to give weekly, and there's no reason to give weekly or monthly or whenever you feel motivated to give. But what happens to me is I like to do Venmo while process is going on, while someone is talking about giving to One Heart One Mind, because that way I don't forget it. And the problem with me doing this spiel is I tend to forget, and I have to remember during the week. So anyway, and that's just I know we all have the intention that one heart, one mind should persist and should prosper. So just keep that in mind. And if you'd like to give the check, the address is there at the bottom of the text on the screen. You can send it off to Michelle, and she will dutifully deposit the money into our account. And if you're into Venmo, or even if you're into Tithely, it's all the same. We thank you for your money. And there is Michelle is now bringing up the affirmation.
Yes, she is.
I knew you were.
And here it is.
And voila. And it says, everything flows from the nature of God's good. We give and receive from this flow in gratitude and in love. We rest in the infinite giving nature of spirit, and so it is.
Got it. Thank you so much. Let's see. So announcements, we have Monday prayer group. You know, that prayer group is super powerful. I love doing the prayer group. We've had some very powerful sessions. We kick off with an intention setting kind of thing, and then we do a collective silent prayer for about 10 minutes, and then we come back together and do an affirmative prayer. And anybody that wants to contribute to that affirmative prayer can. And on Tuesday night, we're doing Happy for No Reason, the Pillar of Soul. So I sent that out last night. Sorry it took me so long. I had a busy week, and it takes me forever to copy that stuff and scan it. So you finally got it. Anyway, it looks like a good chapter. So we'll be discussing that, and that's always fun. Oh, I did want to say that next Sunday we're going to do something kind of different. I mentioned this earlier. Some people have already heard that we're going to, because it is the Sunday before our national election, and there's a lot of there's stuff around it. I don't want to say there's tension. I don't want to give that any power, but there's stuff, and we can feel it. And I want us to come together in a collective sense of comfort and peace and a knowing. And Rob shared this wonderful 2-word affirmation that he has been using, that is good prevails. So I am calling our Sunday service before the national election good prevails, and that we are empowered to, I like this term, to midwife in this new era, this new paradigm of good that is wanting to be born in our country and in the world. And so we're going to focus on that with prayers, affirmation, maybe a reading or two, although readings can get kind of bog us down. I'd rather it be more experiential. But Ernest Holmes has some good words. So we're going to do that. So just know that it's going to be a time of deep meditation and experience, spiritual practice. So I invite you to do that. And what I'm going to do is write a little blurb. And if you happen to be on Facebook, I know a lot of you aren't, but if you are, I'll send that blurb out. And if you could share it on your Facebook page, then more people will know about it. And that would be fabulous. Let's see. So prayer, discussion, Sunday service. Rob's talked about our giving. I think I got it. I think that's about it for now. So, oh, well, there's one more thing. So I am going to be the following Sunday, which would be the 10th of November, I'm going to be up at my daughter's in Petaluma. And so while I will still be online, our fabulous practitioners, Rob, Lisa, and Ralane, will be doing the service. And they'll be, I think they're talking about abundance and gratitude, and they'll be each doing about 10 minutes to give you their perspective on that. So that's fun. That's kind of nice. We'll be doing that. So I think that's all I have. Okay. So now, Rob, I'm going to invite you to do the benediction, and then I've got one more video to share. And it looks like whatever I did fix the video issue, because it's not glitching. The technology gods are with us today. So go ahead, sweetie.
All right. Hey, I like being one of Michelle's sweeties. And I also really like the privilege of praying. It's the most wonderful aspect of our lives. And we owe great thanks for our situation and to Ernest Holmes for fine tuning the prayer technique. And even though a benediction is kind of an abbreviated prayer, I am so grateful for what is. I am so grateful for the service that we have had today and for how good I feel right now as a result. I am so grateful for Ralane's love meditation that just set the stage so beautifully for everything that was to come after that. I am so grateful for Michelle's peace meditation, and I'm so grateful for the entire concept that the heart is such a magnificent place to focus all the goodness on all the good feelings and all of what we know about feeling good and having a wonderful life. And I am so grateful for the green pastures we are led to, we lie down in, and that we can appreciate. Life is just so good. And we come here on Sunday to appreciate how wonderful all the goodness is. Thank you, God, for the goodness. Thank you, God, for the goodness in my life that's just so overpowering and so wonderful. I am grateful. I release my word, and together we say, and so it is.
Gary Lynn Floyd.
Every step is holy. Every breath is life. Every moment precious when held up to the light. Every heart connected, each the face of God. Grace has shown me every step is holy. Every step is holy. Every step is holy. Every breath is life. Every moment precious when held up to the light. Every heart connected, the face of God. Grace has shown me every step is holy. Every step is holy. Oh, everyone, every breath, every step is holy. Every step is holy. Every breath is life. Every moment precious when held up to the light. Every heart connected, each the face of God.
Grace has shown me every step is holy. Every step is holy. Every step is holy. Every step is holy.
Okay. You guys could hear that, right? That song? Not really? I wasn't sharing it.
No.
You know what? It was my bad. It looks like I shared it from my computer and not on the share on my bad. Sorry about that. I'll send you the link. You can listen to it again. I am going to stop the recording right now. And I am going to stop the live stream. So, oh, I think I paused the recording. I should.